65th edition of Water Talk, organized by National Water Mission, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. This series is an initiative of the National Water Mission to provide a platform to enable meaningful discussion on the initiatives undertaken for water conservation and water security in the country. It is also a platform to highlight innovative methods undertaken by organizations and individuals to make India a water secure nation and to do their bit for water resource management in India. But before we begin with today's session, let us first watch a short video highlighting the role of National Water Mission in ensuring water security in the country.
जलमेव जीवनम, जल ही जीवन है और भावी पीढ़ी को जल उपलब्धता सुनिश्चित हो, इस उद्देश्य की ओर नेशनल एक्शन प्लान ऑन क्लाइमेट चेंज के तहत भारत सरकार द्वारा राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन की स्थापना की गई।
जल के बिना जीवन संभव नहीं। हमारी प्राचीन परंपरा में भी पानी के महत्व का वर्णन प्राप्त होता है।
राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन के तहत वर्ष 2019 में एक क्रांतिकारी पहल की गई, जल शक्ति अभियान, जिसके अंतर्गत लाखों की तादाद में रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाए गए, अनेक जल निकायों का पुनर्विकास किया गया, विभिन्न जिलों में जल शक्ति केंद्र स्थापित किए गए, हजारों ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स और किसान मेले लगाए गए, वाटर बॉडीज की जियो टैगिंग और GIS मैपिंग की गई और जिला स्तर पर साइंटिफिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाटर प्लान भी अपनाए गए।
जब किसी अभियान से जनता जुड़ी रहती है तो उसे एक सेंस ऑफ ओनरशिप आती है, वो सफलता की सबसे बड़ी कुंजी होती है।
जल संरक्षण हेतु वर्ष 2021-22 में जल शक्ति अभियान कैच द रेन नामक एक खास कैंपेन शुरू किया गया। 2023 का मुख्य प्रसंग रहा पीने के पानी के सतत स्रोत, जिसका उद्घाटन भारत की राष्ट्रपति महामहिम श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू द्वारा किया गया और 2024 में जल शक्ति से नारी शक्ति इस सिद्धांत को प्रबल किया गया। वर्ष 2025 का प्रसंग है जल संचय जन भागीदारी जन जागरूकता की ओर, जिसका उद्घाटन पंचकुला में किया गया। इसी कड़ी में राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन द्वारा भारत की विभिन्न नदी द्रोणी यानी रिवर बेसिन्स पर कार्य करने का निर्णय लिया गया है। वर्ष 2024 में सूरत, गुजरात से की गई एक विशेष पहल, जल संचय जन भागीदारी के अंतर्गत 10 लाख आर्टिफिशियल रिचार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स के निर्धारित लक्ष्य को पार करते हुए राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन द्वारा 27 लाख आर्टिफिशियल रिचार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स को पोर्टल पर अपलोड किया जा चुका है।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के दूरदर्शी नेतृत्व में जल शक्ति अभियान, कैच द रेन और जल संचय जन भागीदारी को जन आंदोलन में परिवर्तित करते हुए पूरे देश ने देखा है।
जल प्रयोग क्षमता बढ़ाने के लिए पूर्णतः समर्पित प्रभाग शुरू किया गया है। ब्यूरो ऑफ वाटर यूज एफिशिएंसी भोपाल, मध्य प्रदेश में प्रथम अखिल भारतीय राज्य मंत्रियों का सम्मेलन आयोजित किया गया और स्वयं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री महोदय ने इस द्विदिवसीय सम्मेलन को संबोधित कर इसका उद्घाटन किया। अखिल भारतीय राज्य मंत्रियों का द्वितीय सम्मेलन उदयपुर, राजस्थान में आयोजित किया गया, जिसमें अल्प लागत आर्टिफिशियल रिचार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स के निर्माण का लक्ष्य 1 करोड़ कर दिया गया है।
हमारे लिए, हमारे पशु पक्षी के लिए और हमारे आसपास के लोगों के लिए, हमारे आसपास पेड़ पौधों के लिए पानी उपलब्ध हो, पानी का उपयोग सही हो और सही मात्रा में हो, ये हमें सुनिश्चित करना है।
राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन जल सुरक्षित भारत का एक सामूहिक सपना है। आइए हम सब मिलकर इस मिशन का हिस्सा बने, क्योंकि संरक्षित हो जल तभी बेहतर कल।
As rightly highlighted by the Honorable Prime Minister of India in the video, that community participation is the key to water conservation in India. कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन से ही हम अपना वाटर कंजर्वेशन का जो गोल है वो लॉन्ग टर्म एंड सस्टेनेबल वे में अचीव कर सकते हैं। एंड टुडेज सेशन विल हाईलाइट हाउ कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन एंड ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज व्हेन बोथ कंबाइंड हैव अ ग्रेटर इम्पैक्ट। It is now my honor to welcome our special guest, Ms. Archana Verma, Mission Director of National Water Mission, Ministry of Jal Shakti. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today for this session. And it is also my privilege to welcome Mr. Keshoba Krishna Chatradhara, coordinator of the Northeast India Water Talks, which is a regional platform that promotes dialogue, research, and collaboration on water issues across India's northeastern states. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I would like to tell our audience that through his work, Keshoba sir has focused on water governance, climate resilience, and indigenous ecological knowledge. His work places strong emphasis on community based water stewardship and the connections between rivers, livelihoods, culture, and traditional knowledge for water management. Through the Northeast India Water Talks, Keshoba sir has led multi-stakeholder engagements that bring together universities, civil society organizations, youth groups, and grassroots communities for water conservation. And in today's session, we will hear from Keshoba sir about the work that Northeast India Water Talk has been doing to manage Northeastern region's unique water challenges by bringing together communities and their traditional knowledge. But before we begin with Keshuba sir's presentation, I will request Archana ma'am to highlight for our audience, according to her, what is the importance of traditional knowledge and combining traditional knowledge for water conservation. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ananya. It is my proud privilege to welcome Mr. Keshoba Krishna Chatradhar. I would like to tell you that I am also from the Assam cadre. So Assam is very, very dear to me and very close to my heart. So I'm so glad that this whole talk has been organized around the Northeast, where, when we talk of water, generally we talk of water scarcity, over extraction, groundwater decline, and irrigation demand. But in the Northeastern region, water tells a very different story. These are rivers are not just silent resources, they are living presence. The mighty Brahmaputra and the broader Brahmaputra basin define not just geography, but it is also linked to the identity of the people of the Northeast. They shape migration patterns, they shape livelihoods, they shape agriculture cycles, they shape folklore, they shape faith practices, and even political discourse. Yet, this abundance of water comes with a lot of vulnerability. The region faces intensifying floods and erosions, landslides and fragile hill ecosystems, sediment dynamics which alter the river morphology, transboundary water complexities, and climate variability, and altering the rainfall patterns. In such a landscape, conventional water governance sometimes falls short. And that is why, this uh, talk is really special because it emphasizes the legend, the living entity part of water through water stories. So I would not like to take much time except in our all our initiatives, in all our flagship initiative of the Ministry of Jal Shakti, um, community is at the pivot, at the center. We are always seeking community participation because, as Honorable Prime Minister says, that water future can only be secured if we have a whole of government, whole of society approach. If the government keeps conserving water and people keep wasting water, or thinking that water is an imperishable entity, then there will never be water security. But for water security to happen, local traditional knowledge, which in the Jal Shakti Abhiyan, we have seen that they are so important. It is not that we know so much, it is always the people who know a lot. There's so much traditional wisdom in water, and that is why platforms like Mr. Chatradhar's, which highlight the importance of regional platforms in shaping inclusive and grounded water dialogues. So I welcome you, Mr. Chatradhar, and request you to please proceed with your talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Archana ma'am. And I warmly welcome all the participants here to be coming for listening us. Also, sincerely thanks to National Water Missions and the Ministry of Jal Shakti for providing us the platform to present the Northeast Water Talks initiatives, a collective initiative in Northeast India, which effort has been, to reconnect people and water through dialogue and then through stories and through community engagement. So, as we all know that in Northeast India, water is not just a resource, as Archana ma'am says, it's a part of our daily life and our culture, that is our identity, and more or less, it is more than that culture identity. It's a question of survival for future. But looking to the present context, we realize that the relationship of water and human being and surrounding environment has been, slowing down and changing slowly. Uh, so the whole Northeast India Water Talk initiative and the whole stories of water has been starts and begins from this juncture. So I'm really thankful for National Jal Jeevan Missions or National Water Missions for these initiatives. So coming to my presentations will be, in, 6 different parts. So initially I thought that I'll give a glimpse of water scenario in Northeast India, and then second part is all about the increased tendency of disconnecting with the water systems, and then little bit about what we call about traditional knowledge and how we live with, and then again I'll come down to the Northeast Water Talk initiatives and what story talks about, and then the last and most important part is all about learnings comes out from that whole waterworks initiatives we have been with, and the water stories hearing from the ground, and then the final thought with and thanks giving to National Water Mission. So please go for my first slide.
Yes,
It's all about,
we can have the PPT, and so you can just keep saying next in when the slide has to be changed.
okay, okay, okay. So please, this is all about reconnecting people and water from water dialogue perspectives. So please, the next slide is. So just giving a water scenario of Northeast India, as we know, the left side, the whole, picture itself, the map itself showing the whole water abundance scenario of Northeast. It's full of water, actually. The whole regional map also distinct the water scenario of Northeast India. We have the two most important basins called Brahmaputra and Barak. Brahmaputra itself carrying more than 20,000 cubic meter per seconds of water, contributing to the larger basins. And also it's not only carrying the water, it's very important to say that it's carrying lots of debris too, more than 500 to 700 tons of debris to its downstream. Same if we'll talk about the rainfall, we have a high rainfall along with the Barak Brahmaputra river systems. Rainfalls more than more than 2000 millimeter in average. And then lots of streams we have you have seen the pictures there. It is the Barak river systems, and also we have lots of wetlands in Assam itself. We have more than 3500 enlisted wetland with more than 1000 square kilometer of area with cover, including Arunachal Pradesh. We have more than 800 wetland with 560 square kilometer of area covered. Although when we talk about streams, in terms of streams and springs, especially which are the lifeline of the hills community over here, more than as record says, more than 12,000 villages are dependent on the springs. So uh, you know please, next slide. But looking to the whole context of the abundancy, but the real scenario of northeastern region is, you know, so different. So if we talk about abundancy, the flip of the other coins is, along with the water stress regions of our country, our northeastern state is also falling down slowly and gradually. If you see the Tripura is already been, in a, medium risks of stress of water scarcity. So when you talk about the, abundance, also we have falling, stress on the seasonal water shortage, drying of, wells and springs, and also contaminations of groundwater has equally been observed. Not only the iron contaminations, it also fluoride and arsenic contaminations also been there in groundwater, and also the unequal access to safe drinking water is another major issues we have been looking for. So these four pictures in the right side of the presentation shows the how spring is dying down slowly and gradually. The well has been going down. In my periphery itself, the groundwater has been going down from, you know from 20 feet to 26 feet down, within 10 to 15 years times we have been observing. Same way, we can say that the whole structural development has been taking place for the Jal Jeevan missions, also for other schemes, is not been able to provide the equal distribution of safe drinking water. The questions comes why. Yeah, please next. Please. So out of this, whole context of abundancy and scarcity, uh, one another big, words comes in our mind when we speak about northeastern states water conditions. It's all about disaster. This first slide itself describe about the disaster. When you talk about disaster, the two words comes in our mind is flood and erosions first. What the floods do is always been a big questions for us. The floods becomes an annual event for us. Now it's become more unpredictable than earlier. The picture is from Dhemaji district, along with when the floods come, the siltation happen. The picture shows the dangers of siltations. Siltation is for low-lying areas of the districts of Dhemaji, and simultaneously, the along with the traditional flood, the floods comes down from China, Bhutan, and upper Himalayan regions due to release water is another very big issues in our counterpart. And then finally, if we go for the erosions is a big issues we have been facing. Majuli itself sinking from Majuli. You might know about Majuli. Majuli is the world biggest river island, which is sinking from more than 1000 square kilometer to 500 square kilometer within a time of last 100 years time. So erosion is a big issue here. This picture itself from the Bugar area where Brahmaputra is eroding super fast way towards its south. And then the new two words is aligning to when we talk about disaster. The new two words is very uh, familiarly useful right now. It's all about drought like situation has been you know uh, arising super fast way in the tourist regions, where IMD itself saying that 40% deficit of rainfall during, of course, from 2020 to 2025. The 21 district of Assam has been classified as a drought like conditions during these periods. And then urban flood is newly coming, risks over here, where more and more cities has coming out. There's Dibrugarh, Guwahati, Imphal, and Agartala is in peak of urban floods here. So another big, words newly has been, emerging is all about GLOF, the glacial lake outburst flood, that is Sikkim incident in October 2023 itself alarming to us. So this is the paradox of, next please, this is what they call the paradox of abundance but lack of access. The question and is the why this. So regions may be vary. The first regions may be the population increase. The population graph itself showing that last 100 years, 75 to 80 years time period, the whole northeastern state was with, uh, increasing, the population increase is super fast from 70 lakhs to right now we are even 5 crore population has been within the northeastern regions. Another is the groundwater use, overuse of groundwater. Although the Central Groundwater Board is saying that in terms of national average, we have been safe for another, 30, 40 years time or 100 years time, but overuse of groundwater is just showing that very difficult situations we will be facing in coming 10, 20 years time. So in Guwahati itself, the groundwater has been going down from ground up to 800 feet down there. So the massive urbanizations has been another, rapid urbanization has been another issues we are facing with, and the more importantly the climate change and changing rainfall pattern. So from this year itself we have been experiencing with it a, gap of 146 days of we have to wait for rainfall. This is an big, challenge coming for it coming in future, of course. So next please. So looking to all those things, we have been seeing that, why it is happening. So the questions comes in our mind. The it seems that two parts of this juncture, it's all about the earlier how people about uh, know about the water. They have been purely attached with the water bodies. They knows where from it comes, how it flows, and how to protect it. But the shift has been suddenly the shift has been, taking place from that counterpart to a counterpart where water has been often seen as it is coming out from tap, it is coming out from pipeline, and or it is more than that, it is a government supply we have to depend on. Because of that, yeah, please next please. So so just to show, so how rich we were, now how we have been, we are developing the tendency of these connections with water systems. So this is a tubel high rise tubels from a place called Dodia and Alaika. It is in Tinsukia district. So how they are coping with the floods, so the floods reach up to that level where the high rise, tubel has been, into that picture. And same way there you can see the rice mill, how the rice mill has been, in a rice platform, wooden raised platform. And then same way the how place blazers has been, using bamboo or banana peels for the, rainwater harvesting. So next please. So these are another traditional knowledge how people are coping with, how people are adapting with in rural areas of Assam, in flood-prone areas of Assam. This is a sanghar. Sanghar is a stilt house. The raised water from the river has been, under the stilt house, and now they are able to cope up. So you can see the two sides there, who are very been, with the bamboo. This is banana raft. There have been, able to manage their day-to-day life. And you will see the trees there whose has been widely used earlier for erosion protection activities near the bank of streams or river, but now it is not more there, but rightly people are thinking and reviving, try to reviving this. So next slide please. So this picture is all about the dong in the right hand corner. There is a streams you will able to see. It is a dong culture. It is widely popular in the lower Assam area, where the dong is a useful traditional irrigations systems over there, also used for drinking water, where the foothill peoples are used widely there. Boru people basically use that. And then the Loktak area, the how Fundis has been used for or been showing in the picture. Also the bamboo, deep irrigation systems, or also for drinking water purpose it has been. So this has been, in different states has been showing the different culture, different identity, and different communities, how they use the traditional wisdoms to survive with the water. And then left hand side, it is a well-known uh, uh, blaze of Nagaland. It is Konoma blaze. How the it is called pani kheti. The wet red cultivation has been irrigated by stepping down the water systems over there. So looking to all that, traditional rich traditional systems, and then abundance of water, the increased risks on that, and to the increased mindset of disconnecting such a way that we have been popularizing the idea of uh, idea from the traditional wisdom to tape culture, or the shifting it to a culture of disconnections. So next, with that idea, we thought that how to overcome from it. Then the idea of Northeast India Water Talks comes. So where in December 2019, a group of people from different background come take together, including activists, researchers, students, and blazers and prescriptioner working on water and environment. And in that meeting, in that discussions, we realized that water is not only a technical problem. There are also lots of social, cultural, and community issues with the water. So how to reconnect people with the water we have discussed, and the way forward we found through documenting the water stories, the only way to connect community knowledge with science and policy, understand real problem from the ground, and build a shared solutions. So next please. So we realized that with that realizations, we found that every person has a water stories from the ground. Water stories has in different level. So stories of memories of river and landfalls, they have women's daily work for collect water, youth concerns about climate change, traditional practices, and local solutions. So looking to these uh, different stories within their minds and hearts, within their community, we try to connect and collect. So with that intentions, as a Northeast India Water Talk, we try to move forward and able to collect thousands of stories from Northeast India's. So please, next slide. So out of that thousand stories, what water stories comes from the Northeast India? Uh, the We found that with the compilations of the idea, one books comes out is called North what Compendium of Water Stories from Northeast India, and then six major categories of water issues we found from the old stories we collected. Those stories are mostly stories that relate to people's daily struggles for securing water from drinking, cooking, and other domestic purposes. And secondly, the development induced water problems such as water pollutions, contaminations, the groundwater and arsenic, fluoride, iron, and others unsafe material in water. And then the water scarcity, lack of access to potable water, and other associated issues due to deforestation and destructions of upland catchment and forests. And then the protection and conservations of natural water bodies and traditional, conservations of aquatic life is another issues and stories comes out. and and certain perspective of indigenous communities about water, indigenous knowledge systems, and finally the water conflict over water resources and ownerships, control, and management. This major six issues has been come out from the water stories, whatever we collected from Northeast India. Based on that, uh, you know, next please. So we yeah, these are the stories. There are thousands of stories from the ground, rich in diversity, is with its own unique voice and deep sense of ownerships, but yet another policies and planning process. But unfortunately our policies and planning processes often evolve without meaningfully including these life narratives for adapting truly the sustainable approaches. What Northeast India Water Talk did is that collecting these stories, developing narratives, and then giving back to the community in their local vernacular languages to understand and reconnect themselves to the with the water, what water stories has been developed. So we believe that more than 90% of the stories has not been coming out so far. So we are lacking that kind of stories, that amount of resources, that amount of knowledge is still being within the with the community. So do what, please. Next please. So what? So the stories gives us the opportunity to learn how people are adapting, where the problems are, and how what the solutions already exist in the community level. Also, these stories are not just a narrative. We can say they are the knowledge. They are the evidence from the ground, and they can better guide it in the decision making. So next, please. So so the journey to connect water and life is not ending only to developing stories and giving back to the community. It is all about working with the universities and youth minds from the ground, and who are been evolving leaders in the Northeast India, who is really been disconnected from the earlier with the water. So we have been trying to develop lots of essence and trying to reconnect youth minds with the water through training. Of course, it is the biggest, I think, challenges for us to you know develop a curriculum or training models, how we are we will be engaged with the youth minds. But it is achievable that we found with the support from the University and other universities, intellectual peoples from the Northeast India, and the family, Water Talk families has come out with a models of 7-day water training in different institutions of Northeast India. So lots of youth mind has comes up from hundred to thousands. It's become so. Along with the water training, we try to develop with the Dibrugarh University 4 credit interdisciplinary course on water. This is the first kind of interdisciplinary course on water in these regions. So we strongly believe that water has lots of dimensions, and water has lots of potential to be in the curriculum. So along with that, we are thankful to Dibrugarh University to give the opportunity to develop the Dibrugarh University Climate Resilient Water Policy 2025. We hope this kind of policies on water has been first times coming out in Northeast India in for any institutions. So this is all about coming down from uh, community to the institution level and framing policy for institutions. Yeah, next please. The journey, uh, the journey also connecting the people through water talks in different stakeholders. Recently we tried to develop working papers on water and disaster in Northeast India, water and climate change and in Northeast India, and water and gender in Northeast India. The water and gender part has been widely missing, widely missing in discussions. Just to give an example from the urban periphery of Guwahati, so you will able to imagine how water scarcity has been taking place and how gender has been affecting widely, women has been affecting widely in that urban periphery of Assam or in Northeast. So the in the uh, periodic in the periodic time they have to change the cycle because their lack of water, they have to go for pills, eating pills to maintain the gap of their periods times. So this is this three thematic issue have been widely we found to discuss further in the coming days when we talk about stories we have been collecting from the ground. So next please. The out of that major learning has been we have been achieved that water is not a technical issue, it's a social, cultural and ecological issues. It's a traditional knowledge is very important in terms of water because people understand and people know water system deeply, but we are not able to connect well. But human and youth, women and youth must be included in the policy or in governance in the participation level because uh, they are the central of water management that we believe. And then another major issues is that climate change is already affecting water. So we need to develop local resilience strategies. And more importantly, what the motto of Northeast India Water Talks and have to be a motto of all together is all about connecting with uh, people with water must be revealed that these connections has been already been taking place. Without this, long-term solutions will not will not work anymore. So just hereby I like to give a concluding of observations. Please, next slide. uh, concluding with the words that Northeast India has water in abundance, but the challenge is access, understanding, and connections. So Northeast India Water Talk is trying to rebuild these connections slowly through dialogue and stories. So with another two line I am to add is the only when the communities comes together, real change take place, real change can happen. And only when the people connect with water, we can ensure a sustainable future. So my out of that whole collective Northeast Water Talk team as a whole, what we are doing with this statement, my final thought is all about in the next slide, please. It's my finally I personally believe that water is life, and how water connect to their own lives, how river to connect to their own lives with the three visible rights they have to be with, and they are always been with the rights to flow, rights to play, as these three pictures shows, and right to feed us as a mother. So they have the life, as water is life for us. So I believe that life cannot be brought by or sold. So therefore, only equitable distributions of water can create a peaceful world. Otherwise, we'll be nowhere. So with this final thought, I want to conclude here. Uh, Thank you for National Water Missions for giving us the opportunity, the Northeast India Water Talk, for giving the opportunity. And on behalf of Northeast India Water Talk whole family, we like to thank you for, again and again, and the whole team Northeast India Water Talk to be also part of this thankful journey, because without their support, without community support, and without all of your supports, it is not possible to give a presentations like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keshoba sir, for such an elaborate presentation. And it was a really interesting session, sir. We have been flooding with comments from our audience that they have found the session to be very insightful. And one would think that Northeast India has water in abundance, so the only challenge would be water management of the abundant water. But you have highlighted a lot more challenges. There is lack of water, there's drought, there's a challenge of drought too that Northeast India has been facing now. So thank you for highlighting all those challenges and for telling us how Northeast India Water Talks is bringing together different water stories to address and maybe build that connection where those challenges can be addressed. Thank you so much, sir. I request Archana ma'am to please share her thoughts with us about Keshoba sir's insights and presentation.
Um, Thank you, Chatradhar ji, for your insightful lecture. Although, I would like to reiterate that the government flagships that, be it JJM, be it National Water Mission, be it Jal Shakti Abhiyan, be it Namami Gange, they are all focused on, going ahead with local wisdom. And the flagships do not uh, promote, shying away from traditional wisdom. That's why all over India, including in the Northeast, we have seen, systems in Meghalaya, the springs, be it the drip irrigation through, or the springs in Sikkim, we have the spring rejuvenation. In Nagaland, and we have dawns being revived. So, but at the same time, what I would like to say that as as people, we can hold on to certain thought, but as bureaucrats, we have to have a balance. Like if we have to go and achieve India's vision of 2047, then we have to balance the traditional with the modern. Like JJM has brought about saving of 5.5 crore hours, which is WHO certified, uh, of women, having to um, search for water or go miles for water, but because it was brought to their household, they can engage in other activities. And of course, I would agree with you that while the scheme says that it is the community which, that functional tap has to be owned by the community, and the community has to take it forward. The village health and sanitation committee, the women are being trained. We need water in schools for girls not to drop out. So uh, I completely understand the engagement with the local technology, but at the same time, we have to move ahead with balancing technology which is local but also scientific, as you said. And that is the only way when we include it in policy planning, which I'm sure many of the states are doing. Because there are many success stories from the Northeast also on water, which, of course, needs to be highlighted also. So I would request that, these positive stories also need to be highlighted about how water is being managed, and while at the same time the policymakers also need to listen to the people who are actually voices from the field, and it is only when both go together can we have a water secure India. So these are my opening thoughts. I mean, reflections on Mr. Chatradhar's.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a couple of questions that we can take quickly. Chirag, can we have the questions or the people on the screen who want to ask the question? We have Naushad Hussain who has a question. Sir, you can just unmute yourself and ask.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you, Water Mission, and also like to thank Keshav for introducing me to the community. My question is, I'll just keep it very simple. I, being an adventure tour operator, recently I'm trying to connect people with the rivers through my kayaking activities. And recently, an activity called sunset paddling, which I started in Uzan Bazaar. And when I take my tourist, I see towards the governor's house, very dirty water, which is being, which is put it into a river Brahmaputra, and the water there stinks like anything. No, we can't take the people there. So, is there something like no where we can also connect with you and to make that part of the river clean and no report such kind of activities? Or where we can bring students through my initiative and make people aware of such kind of things with the river.
Water is a state subject. So the center doesn't directly interfere in local issues, but yes, the district magistrate and the Guwahati Municipal Commissioner, these are we work through them. So if there is a certain kind, and through the DMs and the CEOs, we have seen a lot of, small river rejuvenation works done through Jan Bhagidari. So if you offer yourself, it's a welcome step, and I would certainly get you help in organizing this Jan Bhagidari kind of, you know, river patch cleaning if there is one.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Chirag, can we have the next question quickly? Okay, there is Ram, I cannot pronounce his surname, Vengerpan. One of the specialties of the Northeast India Water Talk is documentation and research. If the government supports this initiative, it will help in. Okay, it's just a comment, it's not a question. Okay, next. This is done.
Yeah. Then
Done. Yeah. My question is, how can grassroots organizations like ours collaborate more effectively with the National Water Mission to strengthen community-led flood resilience in the Brahmaputra basin?
So as I've said earlier, that what we do is we interact through the state and the districts. So districts make a plan, districts implement, and it is through the districts that you all can get involved for Jan Bhagidari.
Got it. Okay. Next. Next. Okay, there's a question for, I think, Keshoba says, some of the sustainable approaches that you are mentioning face budgetary constraints in deploying. How are you looking at this?
Yeah, this is actually the whole traditional knowledge systems or water managements by coping with a flood or whole, irrigations mechanisms or drinking water mechanism has been developed. So from time immemorial has not been actually been equipped with whatever policy we have been enlisted. Like Assam cases, Assam state water policy has not been evolving with such kind of traditional approach to be engaged with. So I'll request, because this is kind of initiative has been taking place, is a great effort by national water missions. And also I thought that in coming days, if such kind of effort will be take place, definitely state also state also going to be take part in that, in that possible way to giving some sort of budgetary allocations for the knowledge building part, also having traditional knowledge systems in their own periphery. Because Northeast India state is a very big diverse community we live with. The landscape is so different, so place to place, looking to the microclimatic conditions and looking to the whole community identity and culture. So we have different kind of traditional approach which we have. And also in terms of sustainable approaches that you are mentioning, the budgetary constraints is almost there. I'm thinking of, even I'm looking after the Jal Jeevan missions visions, where the infrastructure cost is higher than higher part is there. So whatever allocation has been made for been uh, develop the civic sense of community, and also the create a ownerships and capacity development program has been supposed to be initiated in the local level. It is not been there. So maybe in coming days the allocations may be going to be increased. The whole what constants we has been looking in local levels. So also I'll suggest that it is not about that we have to always been looking for the allocations made by the government agencies or other agencies. Has to be, so it requires a community approach itself. Community sense of ownership has to be developed, and then community has to need to contribute, because as a government level and the state level, agencies cannot afford all the budget what we are looking for to increase our civic sense and sense of ownership which we are trying to develop in our local community. It's eroding fast the sense of civic sense and sense of ownership with the water system that I'm talking about. As ma'am rightly saying that the whole Jan, what is called cleaning, river cleaning program taking place in Arunachal, river cleaning program taking place in Meghalaya, and river cleaning program taking place in my periphery. It is not about the budgetary allocations. Constance has been and arising from the community, allocation has been given by them. So community is raising their own voices. Community is developing their own idea, planning, and also strategic uh, engagements trying to develop by themselves. It is very important for a community to who contribute. At least the contributions part is very important, I am thinking of. So it is with that approach, I think sustainability can be achieved. Otherwise it is not.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for answering all the questions. Thank you, ma'am, for answering the questions and for joining us today. Thank you, Keshoba sir, for joining us, and thank you to all our audience for making this an interactive session. Once again, I thank you all for being here with us today for the 65th edition of Water Talk, and we will meet again for the next edition. Thank you, and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.